Hey HCG family, it's Mimi's HCG. Checking in and let's see. Yesterday I had a 1 pound gain, and today I woke up with a uh, 0.7 loss. So that's not a whole lot, and let me tell you something. I had to work for that loss. Like I told you yesterday, I hadn't gone to the potty, and it seems like a lot of people are having those kind of issues. And I take it very seriously. I used to, just suffer through, but I don't anymore. So, but I was kind of surprised because when I got home yesterday from the store with my daughter, I don't know how much water I drank. I probably had 5 glasses of water, excuse me, that was with a little bit of lemon in it, and it was I was going to the bathroom. So I was kind of surprised, but your body does what it does, so I don't know. I think I ate early. I ate with my husband, and then I ate in the evening, and I had some shrimp with some broth and green onions. And so I don't know. I don't know what the deal is, but I'm not going to worry about it because, your body holds on, and, it doesn't do any good. But I don't want to start tinkering, and I don't want to have to go through that. It's already, you have to deal with when you step on the scale, if you have a goose egg, or if you have a slight gain, or if you only have like a small loss. And it's all these head games, and we're trying to fight against it, and I just don't want to. I just don't want to do that. It is what it is what I'm gonna, that's what I'm gonna look at it. It is what it is. I can see where, and I thought about it because my husband mentioned it. He said, what would happen if you just weighed yourself once a week when you're on phase 2? Then if the whole week goes by and you step on the scale and it says, woo, you've lost 6 pounds, that one day that you might have had a goose egg or had point 0.2 might not be so devastating. So I can see where that could have a positive psychological effect on you, or it could have for somebody to try to keep up with, what if I gained, if I gained, if I gained, if I gained. But I think so much of it is when you are, and this is me personally. Now, I'm not pop. I do just use coconut oil to cook, my chicken in. When I'm cooking my meat, I put a little bit of coconut oil in there just to sear it, and then add the vegetables to it and whatever the spices and everything. And that's it. As far as everything else, besides that little bit, and I was like concerned. I was concerned about it when I started using it, and then I kind of find out about it and how it works in the body, and I think it goes like directly to your liver and that. But and it was something was already using anyway in my diet, so I don't think it had any kind of effect really whatsoever. So anyway, but other than that, I definitely want to, do it right. And I had mentioned yesterday that about going into phase 3 after I finish this HCG mixture, and then 3 weeks into phase 3, and then go to phase 2. And Habby Dobby had mentioned she posted what the protocol said, and I got back on the protocol and read it, and I thought, duh. I just overlooked it. I had it in my brain that it was 3 weeks your first time that you finish phase 2, then you go into 3 weeks into no starches and no sugars, and then you can go back, and then the next round it would be 6 weeks. So I had it wrong, minus 3 weeks, and So I got my calendar out and I made corrections because I'm thinking I might have to do 3 rounds. And yeah, my brain was like, oh, then maybe I'll go ahead and go 40 days. But I just don't think I'm going to do that. I want to get this weight off, and it's going to get off this year. I know that, but I want to do it the right way. I don't want to get discouraged and start getting frustrated. And so I appreciate I appreciate you, honey, telling me that and pointing that to my attention. You know, it's like you can read the protocol, and I just reread a lot of it. You know, the important parts, that pertain to where I'm at right now, and even about losses and interruptions and those kind of things that I have never planned an interruption or anything like that. I talked to you about that yesterday, so no sense in going into that. But I just really appreciate that input and being straight up, because that's what I want. And I tell you what, it does make it very difficult to speak to somebody about the protocol, Dr. Simeon's HCG protocol, and to really tell them what it says, to speak to them if they are truly not doing the protocol. So the protocol of the HCG is the foundation. It's the foundation of this diet, or of this way of life, of this protocol. And if you're wavering off of that protocol in any way, shape, or form, then it's very hard it makes it more difficult to advise. And now, this is me, because it's, I'm like saying, okay, if I'm doing this protocol and I'm solid with it, then if I'm having these gains, or unless they for something, I do not, Tom does not come and see me. He just doesn't. I've had a hysterectomy. I still have 2 ovaries. So I do occasionally, sometimes PMS. I do have, hot flashes in that. I'm 50 years old. But I can't even imagine having to go through that, every single month. I couldn't stand it when I was, and that's why I went and had the uterus removed. And because I had some very rough cycles, and they were physically taxing on me, and I could not see spending. I don't know, my family, I don't think anybody's ever gone through the real menopause with their uterus and ovaries intact that I know of. So, but anyway, that would be very difficult to do, I'm sure. So anyway, it is very difficult to advise someone according to the protocol if they're not really doing the protocol, if they're doing MOP. When you're trying to help somebody and advise somebody, but they're doing things differently than what the protocol, it's very hard to have anything solid to talk about, to even comment about it. We can say, okay, we need to check our inches if we have goose eggs, or, we need to say, okay, it's that time of the month, so, you're going to have fluctuations that way because of water retention. There's so many different things that can interfere with it, just on its own, with being on protocol, on Dr. Simeon's protocol. So when there's all these other factors that are weighed into, to where the different types of foods that we're eating, the things that we're switching up, the extra desserts that we've added into, because a lot of times we're doing this because we're trying to be on protocol, but we're trying to do it to where we're still eating the same way that we did before. So it makes it very difficult to be able to tell somebody, you know, and so that's just reality. There's no way to get around it. That is definitely reality. So um, we can we can try to, change it up and switch it up and try to do all these things to try to get the protocol to work. But when we're not really doing the protocol, it seems to me no matter what we do, it's going to make things difficult. Um, so, like I said, I use the coconut oil to cook in, and I'm not judging. I'm just saying it's very difficult it's very hard to use the foundation when you're not building upon that foundation. You're building something else, so it makes it difficult. So I just wanted to, to throw that at, and especially because of, Heavy Dobby, telling me about that, because, in my mind then it starts going, well, maybe I'll go ahead and do 40 days, or maybe I'll just continue on because I don't want to drag this out. But there again, that self-talk, I had to put a stop to it. It's just like a panicking. But I got the calendar out and I worked it out, and I thought, what's, on phase 3, if I have to eat phase 3 for 6 weeks and add certain foods, I don't know, sweet potatoes would be something I would add in, maybe some fruit I would add in. Also, too, about the, people, the diet, the protocol doesn't say you have to have 500 calories. You just can't go over the 500 calories. And that's for those that still have a substantial amount of weight to lose, not somebody like Steph Aru and HCZ Crazy. Those that, bless their hearts, they're down. I mean, to me, of course, I'm a mom. If I looked at my daughter, I would say, listen, girl, you are done, okay? It's time to let's knock this off, but that's my opinion, and my mom, I have a daughter that's, she can get too super thin, and, I have to get on her, and say, hey, let's eat a steak or something. But anyway, I just wanted to point that out. And also, too, ACG Housewife Tiffany, I tried to comment on your last vlog. My goodness, your husband, fat, I can't even believe it, but that's hilarious. But it's awesome, those pants. Oh, my gosh, that's just, that is just great. And so I wanted to let you know that, I was cracking up laughing. But, hang in there. Man, it's so wonderful to put those pants on. I put my 16 pants on. The lowest I got when I did the protocol first was I was in a size 12, and that was pretty low. I was wearing the size pants as my one daughter was wearing, and so that was pretty exciting. She was actually giving me some of her clothes to wear. So, what mother doesn't want that? To have their daughter giving up some of their clothes. And so, but anyway, also too, some of you that are eating protein and wanting extra protein, I noticed that a lot of you just eat the whites instead of the yolk. And I understand there's a lot of controversy about an egg, but the egg yolk has essential omega-3 nutrients in it. It has protein in it. It has most of all the nutrients that your body needs is in that yolk. So think about that. Yes, it's high in cholesterol, but it's not a bad cholesterol. That's a big fat lie. So that oat is one of the most perfect foods that God has given us to eat. So, just count that into, the calories, the adding a yolk and maybe 2 of the whites. Fine, but you are missing out on some very important nutrients that your body needs. If you're upping your protein, you need that yolk, at least 1 yolk. It is good for you. Listen to your mother. It's good for you. Let's see, anything else? In my mind, I'm going to take 10 pounds at a time. That's what I focus on, 10 pounds at a time. And however my body releases it, I would love if it released 30 pounds this round. That would be great, but if it doesn't, it doesn't. So there's next round. So And for all that you have to travel and stuff like that when you're on this, my goodness, my prayers and encouragement are for you. That has to be the most difficult thing in the world. And so just stay strong. And I think that's about it. And I appreciate you all. And I love you all. And I thank you. Big hug for my HCG family. I have more to say, but it's down to 15:24. So thank you. Have a good night.